Hey, Shalom. Let me give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Okay, double honor to the elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that go well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel. All right, let's jump into this. Let's get busy. And this is why you have to be circumspect. You got to know what's going on. And this shit is going down. And actually, this first video and the second one is not really old. They're a couple of weeks old. But just today, if more information has come out on these devils, on them small hats, man, Amalek. But again, being circumspect, and not as fools, but as wise, knowing what's going on and what's going down, and it's going to go down eventually. All right, what these devils plan on doing, and it's speaking of, there's false flags here, and there's too many of these rumors going around, and that's a rumor of wars. It's a false flag. That's an act of war, a false flag attack. And as a matter of fact, hold on. Hopefully I can do this here. Let me see if I can open another one here. Okay. Let's just ask the question. Is a false flag an act of war? A false flag is not inherently an act of war on its own, but it is frequently used as a deceptive tactic or pretext to justify initiating one. It's an act of war. So people just come and explain shit and just bullshit around. Under international humanitarian law, the specific nature of the operation dictates its legality and whether it violates the law of armed conflict. Of course it does. It's the devil for you. That's the devil for you. They justify it. When you read that, it's just they justify it. A false flag attack, man, takes lives. It takes lives, man. Destroys property and takes lives. Come on. Let's keep it real, but it's not in this devil's nature, keeping it real. So let's jump to these video here.
What's up, guys? D7 back at you. I want to talk about some important things here real quick, just to keep people aware of what's going on. We've got like open threats being thrown out there by some of the characters out here, and it could be directly targeting the Great American State Fair. What is the Great American State Fair? Some people are like, what are you talking about? Like, well, apparently Freedom 250 that put on the whole UFC White House event that was targeted in a terror thing. So they're saying, right, with drones and snipers. They're saying they've put together this 16-day event from June 25th to July 10th, what they're calling the Great American State Fair. Harley Davidson, John Deere are going to be there on deck, and they're going to have like 56 different booths set up, one for like every state and territory, and 150 different exhibits is what they're saying. So it's going to be this big thing on the lawn, and it's in an area that was...
So far, from yesterday, that thing has been a flop. So, and no one's attending. These devils might just be waking up. And I mean the Egyptians, the Babylonians, man, the citizens. And probably looking to avoid something happening. Who knows? But from what I saw yesterday, and people making mockery and a joke out of it, it was a major flop.
Just targeted, allegedly, with a massive attack. Now, you've got the event. It's going to be huge. People everywhere. 16 days. Not just one night.
What are they waiting for, next weekend?
16 days. Over 2 weeks, okay? Loomer comes out and drops this message on social media. And I'll leave links below and you guys can see this and I'll update on the live stream. But she says that there's about to be, she says soon, there will be a massive, she says, Islamic terror attack on the United States of America. And she says then, and only then, maybe it will sink in to the people that they've been conned in terms of buying into any of this Islamic stuff. That was her words. And she's foretelling what's about to happen and blaming it, just like all the other past events, on other characters with no proof. But we know there's a long track record of people that she knows that pull off events and blame it on other people. Okay? So this is pretty big. She says this is going to be 10 times bigger than Blind 11. You don't get many ominous warnings out there right before, but I've been telling you, you can feel it in the air. Something huge is going to happen.
And even though dude is in the dark, he don't know what's going on. They're aware something's going down, but other than that, they don't. Him and his people are far from the truth. But saying that, this dude, he has friends, and he has, and they all communicate with each other, and they're all down with each other, and they're in some type of loop, So, and they have friends that are in intelligence. These people, they just have friends, that. Again, they're far from the truth, but they're aware of something going on. So, something other. These niggas in the hood don't know. And living that so nothing is going on. But the rest of the world is waking up to something, man.
Related with the whole Iran thing, blowback, everything going on. Yeah, there seems to be a script here, and she just leaked out some of the details, it seems. But you know who does everything. From Kennedy to Lennon to Tupac to Biggie. Mm-hmm. The same hand out there. The beast is at work.
The beast.
Man.
Wait a minute. The beast? Oh, my goodness. The beast. And he don't have no clue what the beast is, but in their minds, who they're thinking it. I'm pretty sure he's thinking it. It's those small hats, but it's wild.
I'd watch your six. I'd have heads on a swivel. I'd alert and I'd warn anyone that thinks that they're going to go to this event. Oh, it sounds cool. Great American State Fair, like once in a lifetime type thing.
And it was Mossad, and that was behind that attack on its people. That kick-started that thing, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, where they blamed on ISIS, which ISIS is Israeli Security Intelligence Services. So that's, there you go with that.
I don't know about this one, man. Hopefully, everything goes down peacefully. But with such an event popping off, right there in their playground, everything that's happened up to this point, again, with the UFC stuff, all the threats, and then Loomer making the statement.
Hold on, let me get the scripture. As it says again. Trying to make this quick. Okay, Second Corinthians 2:11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's one of those devices, his sinister ass plans, man. His sinister ass plans. a mental perception, thought, an evil purpose, okay? That which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purposes. And we're talking about a devil, a profane, a profane, a profane, fornicating, a wicked base devil, man. That's what we're talking about. You know, we're name calling here. Esau, Edom. You know, so specifically the leader of them devils, Amalek. Because don't think this is nothing. Don't think it's a small matter, man. These don't think these in their mind that these things are great in his mind. To these devils, they're small, man. You know, bombing. You can see how they flattened Gaza. I mean, they flattened that land, man, and how they're literally just and what they're doing in Lebanon. This man is on a warpath. He straight up literally is on a warpath doing this thing. I'm going to get to this next video because it goes more in specific. Leave this fool alone.
Everyone understandably gets a bit nervous when an agent of Israel starts predicting a major mass casualty terrorist attack on American soil just days after the American president announces a deal that enrages all of Israel.
He had a good show. He brings out a lot of good people, man. A lot of good shows, a lot of good interviews, a lot of information. I watch a lot of his videos.
What's another way they could sabotage a peace deal with Iran? Another way is false flag. And now Larry Loomer, the mouthpiece of Israel, is actually predicting it. So she says, soon there will be a massive Islamic terror attack in America, and the perpetrators will likely have financial ties to podcasters and those who are sowing discord for foreign nations in America. That would be you.
That's the Rogan sphere.
And remember, man, don't. It's a small thing to these people to take thousands of lives, man. And that's what we're anticipating. I mean, you know, just look at 9/11 for an example. You know, they brought them buildings down. They killed thousands of people. And it's nothing to them, man. And it's actually a great time. You know, it's to them, it's a sacrifice on the left-hand side. It's a straight-up sacrifice, man. These people are looking to remain in power. You know, and this is just one of those sacrifices they plan on executing. You know, killing off thousands of people. So it's a small thing. And you can use, and I'm not sure if that's Numbers, the 24th chapter, where it explains that or not. It's Numbers or Deuteronomy 20, the 25th chapter. I'm not sure which one it is. We'll visit it in a second. But it's one of those. It's a small thing. This devil is a sneaky, devilish opportunist, man. He's a cutthroat by nature. He's a thief. You know?
That would be what Larry Loomer's doing.
Devils.
I predict there will be many casualties, and only then will it be said that the people have been conned into supporting a terrorist psyop to distract you from the threat of Islam. So what this is all about is that she's almost broadcasting that watch for a false flag coming from the Zionists.
And that's how I always thought in the spirit that has the least of the flock, how it's going to be drawn, how they're going to draw the least of the flock. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Let me grab that. I know there's a couple of scriptures in Jeremiah that's mentioned least of the flock. There's a couple of them. I'm not sure if it's the same chapter or not, but okay, there's Jeremiah 49 and 20. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 45 as well. Okay, let's go to 49. 49 specifically calls out Mount Seir and Edom. But let's hit 49 and 20 anyway. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom and his purpose. And that's who these people are talking about, Edom, and his purposes. Because right now, Edom is not being identified because they're taking on a new name. And, they named themselves to hide from this name Edom. But the veil has been lifted, and people are finding out now that he's okay. It's a nation of red devils. Anyway, and his purpose that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Does it say that in the NIV? The Red Sea. Therefore, hear what the Lord has planned against Edom, what he has proposed against those who live in Teman. The young of the flock will be dragged away. Their pasture will be appalled at their fate. At the sound of their fall, the earth will tremble. Their cry will resound to the Red Sea. Okay, look, an eagle will soar and swoop down, spreading its wings over Basra. In that day, the hearts of Edom's warriors will be like the heart of a woman in labor. Beautiful. Okay. So the least of the flock, those small hats. And this is pretty much how I always thought it was going to draw them out, meaning bring everybody to the battlefield by them using those nukes with their reporting that there's rumors that, and that's why I looked it up. A false flag at the beginning is an act of war, because of the scripture. Hold on. Because what the scripture says. Rumor. Let me just hit Matthew 24. I'm not playing the spelling game today. I'm not. Hold on. Hold on. Am I on the right chapter? Yeah, rumors. I spelled it wrong. Like I said, I'm not playing the spelling game. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And rumors. And that's what we're hearing, this rumor. We've been hearing this rumor of a false flag. And you know it's coming. The sense of hearing, the organ of hearing, the ear, the thing heard. Instruction, namely oral, of preaching the gospel, hearsay, report of rumor. Report or rumor, hearsay, report or rumor. Okay. I just spelled it wrong. Yeah, I'm not playing the spelling game today. So this is pretty much hearsay, a rumor.
Look at Julian Dory. Look how you wrote it up the top.
It said, she says it will likely be 10 times worse than 9/11, which was also a false flag.
10 times worse than 9/11. And 9/11 stopped the world in its tracks. Literally. I remember there was no planes in the sky, no helicopters, no nothing, man. The world came to a stop, complete stop, man, because of these devils. And you know damn well the way Babylon said it went down, it didn't go down that way. Didn't no hijackers hijack no plane. That's just common damn sense, man. What does that say here? And that's Laura Loomer. That's a small hat. She's a small hat. I didn't even plan on reading this. Soon there will be a massive Islamic terror attack in America, and the perpetrators will likely have financial ties to podcasters and those who are sowing discord for foreign nations in America. I predict there will be many casualties, and only then will it maybe set in that people have been conned into supporting a terrorist psyop to distract you from the threat of Islam, while the enemy plotted to destroy our country from within with botted conspiracy theories. It will likely be 10 times worse than 9/11. So they're planning it.
Why? Because you'll be dancing 10 times.
And that's exactly is a psyop itself. These small hats in their media, you know, they playing on the minds of the people, you know, and people believe it. People believe it. Lied to so much, motherfuckers is incapable of judging uprightly because they don't know, you know, they've been lied to so much, and they don't know what to believe, so they're incapable of bringing to pass upright the truth and judgment. MAGA and its people, these Babylonian Egyptians and the people, man, got to be destroyed.
Times is hard to it, Israelis.
So Julian Dory says, it's the way this guy clearly wants an attack to happen that pisses me off more than anything.
It's my boy, Julian Dory. Hilarious.
No, if I was a Jew, I would be furious at Larry Loomer and people like this, because now people see it coming. Now they know it's going to be a false flag, and this is what makes Jews less safe. When you predict stuff like this. Again, let's remember that the Zionists got the Muslims and Christians, which are actually get along fine together, until Zionists made them think they were enemies. Muslims.
Can't wait to upload this to TikTok. I'm kind of curious in how quick, and if it will get deleted, and how quick. I think it's going to, it'll be quick, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Revere Jesus. They revere the Mother Mary. Mm-hmm. You know who doesn't?
All you have to do is do a Google search or whatever search on how small hats feel about JC, man, and Mary, and it's kind of humorous in a way, the shit that they got written down, but imposing to be the people. People don't know how to put shit together, man. Don't know how to add 1 + 1. They can't add 1 + 1. That's for real, man. These people don't know how to make sense out of nothing. You know, and that's how these rats were able to portray themselves as the chosen people, and still there's people that believe in it. And there's this fine ass Judite sister I used to mess with back in the day. I was talking to her a few years ago, man, and she was ain't nowhere, and she was going to have a change of mind that them people are false or imposters, man. There's nothing in their mind that I could have convinced her that we are the people. And I mean, this is a dark-skinned, a thick one, a slim, thick, and she's cute as hell, man, that I grew up with. I was messing with this girl from the age of 14, man, for real. Whew. But anyway, ran into her like some years ago, you know, and because she was pretty close with my sister, and we all stayed close friends and this and that, you know. We just had a sex thing. That's all it was. No relationship thing. It was just a sex thing back then. It showed you that these women were hoes from the beginning at an early age. But anyway, there was nothing I can do to convince her that we are the Jews, man. We the Israelites. Anyway.
Judaism. So as we've shown you many times, if you go to Israel, they'll spit on Christians, and the people at the tippy top of government just say it's a tradition.
Remember the Christians are Israelites. But this modern Christianity, man, is madness. And this modern Christianity got heathens and all. Heathens and all. Professing that they love JC. We love JC.
So what this does is make Jews less safe. This makes people, so now if there is a false, so when a false
flag. That's the goal.
Win.
And so that is, so as Kurt says, that
it's win.
That's the goal, because that is the fuel for Zionism. The fuel for Zionism is to make Jews feel unsafe in other parts of the world, so they feel like they have to go to Israel to feel safe. That was the...
Anyway, let me do that real quick. Because I'm kind of curious if it's Deuteronomy, the 25th chapter. 25. Okay, there it is. 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, those that were behind, which would be women and children, the weak, the elderly, right? Even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. So he was jumping those from behind, man. So it's a small matter what the devil brain don't bring it, man. If he can put in his heart and mind and look at it as nothing to attack the women and children and the elderly, man, come on. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta look in. You just gotta think outside the box when you read these things and understand this devil. Hold on, let me do this. That's 17. That's 17. Let's hit the NOT and the NIV. See what it says. Never forget what the Amalekites did to you as you came from Egypt. They attacked you when you were exhausted and weary, and they struck down those who were straggling behind. They had no fear of the Most High. Whoo! No fear of the Most High. And this man is about to act it out, in these modern times. No fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Remember what the Amalekites did to you along the way when you came out of Egypt, when you were weary and worn out. They met you on your journey and attacked all of who were lagging behind. They had no fear of the Most High. So the KJV hits it on the nail. Pretty much hits it on the nail, man. KJV does. Okay. So my whole point was, just like I said, this is what this devil's about to do, man. It's a small thing. He's a devil. What do you expect? He's a damn devil, man. He's a damn devil. All right. Okay, so let me get numbers. Okay. It's a good one too, but hold on. Exodus 17 and 14. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Fanasa Nissi. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh hath sworn that the Lord Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And this devil has been at war literally, man, with the world, with the earth. Straight up with the earth, man, destroying it. There's a clip I caught, an Edomite saying that, and he's describing, and he's acting like he's a rich man, a billionaire of the world, and he was like, what can I look? And he's looking around the world as the billionaires, like looking at, what can I destroy next? What forest should I destroy? What water should I destroy? He's acting like the in the minds of the super rich of the world. What can I destroy next? And that's literally what this man is doing, man. He's on a war path.
It's the whole deal that they made with Hitler. Am I wrong about that, Kurt?
No, it's very obvious that's what they've been doing, and you can go look it up real easily, and there's plenty of Jews that talk about it. So
let me get this last video here. Let me get this last one.
Is Israel threatening to annihilate all of us unless they get their way, like a spoiled rotten brat at the grocery store?
This one is the one that was from yesterday or today. So this rumor is still going around. That's what you have to, that should be raising questions in your mind. Why am I keep hearing this? Why am I keep hearing this? They're going to false flag. Why I keep hearing Israel going to use news? Israel going to cause a false flag. Why are we, rumors, man? Hearsay, rumors.
Final little stretch, crying and screaming for a candy bar. If you don't give it to me, I'm just going to basically go nuclear right here in the aisle. That's maybe what Israel is going to do. They might go nuclear on us if they don't get their way. Look at this tweet. This is from Ian Carroll. He says, Israel is now openly threatening to use nukes against the world. Ironically, this is exactly why they should be disarmed and their future statehood called into serious question. Why the Zionist project should never have begun. Violent tribalism and existential victim narrative is the most dangerous combination possible, and it is fundamental to Israeli identity. There are only two possible outcomes. Either they rule the world and all bow to their chosenness, or they keep picking fights until the whole world turns on them and they are destroyed. The slippery part is that it's not just Israel. They have dragged the entire global Jewish population into this adversarial and unconscionable position, and the real power structure of Israel is dispersed across the global network of Jewish billionaires and bankers that support it and represent the true power of the project. Now, he is referring to this is a message that was put, this is, just watch this.
Israel's existence is not negotiable, and it does not depend on superpowers or the public opinion. And if they keep pushing Israel to the corner, they are the ones who are going to suffer the most. Israel hasn't used everything that it has. And Israel, on a purpose, did not expose the advanced weapons that it has for a very important reason. We don't want the enemy to know what we are having. And now, at this point, we're just playing around. So, this is the clear message to those who think that they can annihilate Israel. Behind Israel is existence.
So, Israel has secret weapons we don't even know about, and they'll bring them out if they have to. And that is what people are very afraid of, that Israel will resort to using nukes. And the question is, who will they use nukes against? Now, you might think, they're only going to use nukes against Iran. They're only going to use nukes against who? Lebanon, Hezbollah, against the Houthis, against the Palestinians. But remember, the Israelis have a long list of enemies. They've now put Egypt on that list. Turkey is on that list. And
rumor against Turkey as well. And Turkey is taking precautions as we speak, man. They're preparing to fight right now. This thing is going down, man, and shit is happening. And all of a sudden, like the video is specifically is going in on, is false flag attacks, man. That's literally what's going to happen unexpectedly, that it's going to hit. And it's going to be a totally different world from that point on, man. And hopefully that itself will help kickstart the collapse, so they can bring in that device That's prophesied. That device must come to pass, man. So you know it's soon, because we're about to get the hell up out of here. So you know it's soon. So this device is going to come. It's going to hit quick, man. It's going to come quick. Lord willing, is in 2026. Lord willing, man. And then we're, soon after that, time's going to speed up some more. Hopefully, Lord willing.
And the way things are going in the United States, Americans are about to be put on that list. And Israel is proving itself to not be trustworthy when... The way things are going in the United States, Americans are about to be put on that list. And Israel is proving itself. The way things are going in the United States, Americans are about to be put on that list. And Israel is proving itself to not be trustworthy when they decide you're an enemy. They will kill you. They will murder you. They will murder your children, and they won't even think twice about it. And
murder your children. And you see how Babylon and Amalek bombed that school in Iran, and as the scriptures, what was that? Deuteronomy? Was that the 25th chapter? Was that Deuteronomy 25th chapter? Attacking the elderly and the women and the children and the weak and feeble from behind. I'm gonna close this last scripture. Hold on, let me play a little bit more of this. Well, it's about over anyway.
Americans should be kind of hesitant about that. I mean, really hesitant about that. The fact that, here we are saying our greatest ally is this group of people who, without even blinking twice, would kill your children. They would just shoot them right in the head. The minute they say you're an enemy, they'll shoot your children. Is Israel threatening to annihilate?
Moreover, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And this is my point. In 5 and 6, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And there's another one. Hold on. It's like I forgot where it was. Let me do some digging real quick. It might have been in Jeremiah 49. There's one specific point I wanted to make. I wanted to read. Okay, here's Edom. That 10 is good. Hold on, let me do some digging real quick. Just gonna take just a second, because I didn't want to drag this video on as long as this went on. I didn't want to drag it on. I just really wanted to show you those videos. And it wasn't 49 and 7. I hate when this happens. You know what? That's all good. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Oh, that 1 and 15 It was a scripture that's a precept for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. It was a precept concerning that. It's a precept I always had that's Jeremiah. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done. Do unto her. Mainly, specifically Babylon, but Edom, period. Babylon, Edom. But anyway, hope you're edified. Stay circumspect. Keep your eyes open. Stay locked in. Continue in prayer. All right, so let me give all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. Till next time, we're willing. Shalom.